I'd like to have the sheriff give us a up-to-date of what you guys are planning or what you think the town should do.
So I'm just sitting in. This is not my case.
Okay,
I know our officer was requested to be here. Unfortunately, he had other obligations and was unable to make it.
okay.
I can read you through his report if you want, which
Yeah.
just kind of gives a synopsis of
Yeah.
what has happened and what statements all said. So I can read that through here. On 4/13/26, so this is the narrative of Deputy Donald Sweet. On 4/13/2026, I spoke with Nilsson and Hawkins via telephone regarding the incident. Nilsson advised on a 4/11 she'd gone to her mailbox, which is a row of several mailboxes. Her neighbor Hawkins was sitting outside with her dog, Ruger, a 2-year-old pit bull mix. Nilsson stated that since the mailboxes, she was at the mailboxes, she would get Hawkins' mail as well. She approached Hawkins' property, saw the dog roaming. The dog was barking, so Nilsson stopped behind Hawkins' car, which was parked in the driveway. She spoke to the dog in a friendly tone. The dog approached Nilsson. Nilsson stated that her left hand was holding the mail, her right hand was down by her side with an open palm. She thought the dog was going to sniff her. Nilsson states that the dog reached her hand and in a split second attacked me in a dangerous frenzy. He grabbed her right hand in his mouth, causing damage to the fourth finger and a chomping down on the pinky, the top of the right hand, and the right wrist. Nilsson advised that her arm was covered by her jacket, which lessened the injury. Nilsson advised in her sworn statement that Hawkins removed the dog and secured him in the house, and then drove Nilsson to the emergency department in Rutland Regional Medical Center where she received care. Care included stitches to her fourth finger, bandages for less severe injuries, and a splint for the arm. Paperwork that I received from Nilsson did not state a number of these stitches or the severity of the injuries. She has also requested documentation for the hand specialist she saw on 4/15. In her written statement, Nilsson advised that Hawkins stated that she would pay for the hospital visit and doctor's bills. She advised that Hawkins had mentioned to her that the dog had bitten someone before. Nilsson included in her statement with saying that Andrea was caring and kind to drive me to the ER and waiting for hours, then drove me home, and plus giving me Band-Aids and ointment. I've also received a written statement from Andre Hawkins. In her statement, Hawkins advised that she was outside with the dog sitting on her front step. The dog was walking around her yard. Hawkins stated that Nilsson yelled out asking Hawkins wanted her to get her and bring her mail to her. Hawkins advised, "No, I'll get it later." Nilsson disregarded that statement and replied, "I'll just bring it over." Hawkins states Nilsson then walked into the driveway and was talking to the dog. She advised the dog was barking because he doesn't know Nilsson. Nilsson then walked to the end of the sidewalk by the parked car with the mail in her hand. The dog was smelling Nilsson's hand as well as the mail. Hawkins advised that Nilsson turned an empty hand over and put it in Ruger's face so he could smell her. Hawkins further advised that Nilsson then moved the hand with the mail towards the air. Hawkins states that the movement scared the dog, causing him to grab Nilsson's hand. Hawkins yelled to the dog, "Come here," and brought the dog into the house. Hawkins then advised she returned with peroxide paper towels to clean the wounds and transported Nilsson to ED at Rutland Regional Medical Center. All information has been turned over to the Clarendon Town Clerks and advised a hearing will be set up on this matter at a later date. So that's the report that I have from Deputy Sweet at this point in time. I do not see notations that violations have been issued. I believe they were waiting for the conclusion of this hearing to see what the town was going to do. We do have the option, obviously, of issuing civil violations if that's what the town was requesting. Yes, sir.
How many mailboxes are involved? 2 or 3 or what?
It sounds like it's a row. I don't know exactly how many, if it's
I
2 or
think
4
there
or
are
5.
I don't need to know exact numbers, more than 2.
There's 1, 2, 3,
There's
4,
5.
5. One of which is not used, but that doesn't matter.
And people that come to the mailbox, they get out of their car, or do they reach out of their car to grab it, or
Some
what?
people turn in and they get out of their car to get it. Some people walk over. It's spring, summer. We're out
Okay.
and about.
That's all. Thank you.
So just reading from my synopsis of this report. It,
Yep.
it appears that the individual was bitten and had collected the mail for the neighbor and went to walk onto the neighbor's property to hand
Yep.
the mail, and that's when the dog bit. Dogs are creatures of habit. If they're not used to someone coming out of their house, they can be territorial and protective.
Yeah, of course.
That may have played into this. Just having a dog myself, obviously in the car, I'm aware of these types of situations. But what the town decides to do with that is on to the town, I guess, at this point.
Andrea, do you wanna make a statement?
I don't know what you want me to say.
Well, you know, do you agree with what the sheriff just read?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you agree with?
There was only one thing. Our stories are almost identical, except I screamed at her to get the dog away from me. She said that she went and put the dog away. I screamed at her. The dog was still somewhere around me, circling.
That's after the bite?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she did that.
He recalled as soon as I said his name and went right into the house.
Now, this is the second time?
First time was 2 years ago. He was a puppy, Green Mountain Power reader. After being warned to stay in her car, proceeded onto the property, and he accidentally got out of the house, and she went to give an envelope to me, and he just nipped her.
We have had troubles in a not too distant past, just up the road here. And the dogs were constantly, well, the one dog that was the most aggressive would get out of the yard as well.
He's never been out of my yard.
What do you think you should do with
He's
this?
next week we start obedience training to learn simple commands from me that he does not already know, and to learn how to socialize.
Now, my youngest daughter, you know her, Kylie, she lives up in Barrytown, and they have a German Shepherd that was very nasty. Fortunately, the one issue that they had with it, after that, they put a muzzle on the dog. And when we go up there partying, you know, birthday parties and stuff, she always muzzles that dog. Do you have a muzzle?
No, he's never needed one. He's muzzled at the vet.
He has a muzzle now,
No,
no?
no.
Mr. Chairman, if I may?
Yeah.
The reason I was asking about the number of mailboxes,
They're across the street from my
they're
driveway.
across your street from your property?
Yep.
And my concern with the fact that there are obviously people coming to the mailboxes, and the dog is apparently loose most of the time?
No, he's on a shock collar
Okay,
most of the time. He does not leave my property.
okay. That's fine, I just wanted to understand.
Yep. He may sit and watch you get your mail, but he's not leaving my property.
When you say shock collar, that's the
It's
electrical
the
impulse thing?
vibrate.
Oh,
It has 3 modes. It beeps, vibrates, and shocks. He's never had to have anything above a beep.
Is that on one of those underground fence
Nope.
things? It's
The
just,
remote.
it's the remote, okay.
You, Janine, you moved your mailbox so that you no longer have to.
Right. My concern is not only for me, but I watched maybe 3 or 4 people at springtime. They were checking on my backyard neighbor, his dog, and they walked past Andrea's driveway because that's where you would walk.
Yeah.
As well as me walking. I have a 6-year-old and a 9-year-old grandson. He loves the bridge, and we would walk as well. So my concern is I would think that anybody walking would need to be safe in our tiny little community with Pondview and our little East Street community, but also people that are walking by. I did not do anything to upset this dog. I have occasionally, 2, 3 times, we chat. Andrea's helped me with different things, you know. I don't want anyone hurt. And I don't know how you know that a dog is not going to go 1 foot outside of a driveway or anything like that. So I don't want the neighborhood, and the neighborhood does know.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to ask, or not really ask a few questions, but if I could, please.
Yep.
I'm looking at a list of things, if a dog bites somebody on an owner's property. The one I'm looking at is a trespasser exemption here. It says, now, to kind of go into the beginning of that, it sounds to me like you asked Andrea if you could bring, I don't know either one of you, right? You don't know me other than I knew Eddie. If you wanted her, if you wanted her to bring up the mail and you said, no, I'll get it later, and you said, well, I'll just bring it up anyway.
I was walking toward, if I may speak,
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of already just doing it and walking because we're neighbors, we're friends.
Mm-hmm. No,
It
I
wasn't
understand,
trespassing.
you know, and it's, I'll just bring it up, I'm right here, I get it, you know. But, were you invited to the property? It doesn't sound that way to me. I'm just, this is what I'm hearing. So with that being said, I don't know if, who's in the right here. I mean, I don't know. You weren't really invited on the properties the way I'm looking at it. And is that right or wrong? I guess I don't know, you know. You understand what I'm saying?
I'd like to hear a little bit more about this training that you're gonna undertake. Is it,
So it's a training, it's called Healing Hearts Canine. He's in Castleton. He's trained the Rutland Humane Society dogs before adoption. He's gone to Texas for numerous trainings. He's trained police dogs. He works with strict commands and taking aggression out of dogs. Not saying that my dog is aggressive. He takes aggression out, and he also takes socializing so that they're not as reactive if they're out in public, like at Tractor Supply or something, and he's reactive to another dog or even a cat walking through the property. I'd love him to
That
stop
would be
chasing my
awesome.
squirrels.
If you were out like that with the dog, you'd have him on a leash for sure. Right?
Yes. Oh, yeah. He's
so,
always on
so
something.
after this training occurs, and you take some steps or method to determine how effective it was, are you gonna rely solely on that training?
No.
What, do you have a plan
I
different than?
have, we're gonna train with my remote collar with his harness, and he has a, choke collar to train him to not tug.
Yeah.
So all of those will be incorporated, plus my verbal commands.
May I have a question?
Yes.
I think that's good. I'm curious why none of this was done after the first bite, no matter who was getting a
Because
car.
he was 6 months old.
I think starting
and we still
younger,
have 2 years, he was
I mean,
2
it's not, the
years.
dog isn't mature enough to take commands at that age.
No.
I'm not a dog person, so
He's
don't.
not.
no sign for a dog of this nature on the property. I didn't see. Why wouldn't, and I would have loved to have known that he bit someone before and had that knowledge so that I or anybody else would be walking by to have that kind of thing happen. Would a sign be appropriate?
That's certainly something that can be taken into consideration.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And a leash or a lead anytime the dog is out. Does a shock collar, I don't know either, but does a shock collar and remote stuff always work? I don't feel comfortable walking my 6 or 9-year-old grandchild by the driveway. And I think you're supposed to be on that side when facing traffic, right? So I just want people safe, including myself. My backyard neighbor feels the same way.
When you say backyard neighbor, is that, what's the, how,
Yeah, I
what
think,
distance are we talking here?
we're on about an acre, Andrea, right?
I have over an acre.
So I have an acre, 1.01. A neighbor's really directly behind me, but he said that his property also reaches the Hawkins property. And there's no fences, you know.
Now, let me ask the police officer, do you have a recommendation, given your past experiences, not necessarily with this issue, but with other dog bites issues.
So every dog bite obviously is different. What enticed the dog to bite in the first place? Was it scared? Was it just overall aggressive? Every dog is different, so I don't like to categorize all dogs together. I do know that there is training, as she said, she's looking at getting training which can weed out some of those issues, and then this is the second time having to do with a piece of paper in somebody's hand. It may be as simple as something that the dog does not associate a piece of paper in a hand with something good. Maybe they were beat in the past with a roll of paper, something like that, so the dog accesses, or basically takes that piece of paper as a negative. So there is trainings, she's going to be going through training for that. That might be something they can work out of, getting that dog socialized with paper, and that paper's okay. So a training is definitely going to help in that aspect. It's not going to hurt. Some other recommendations, obviously, would be some sort of signage on the property. Just doesn't have to be, vicious dog. It could just be beware of dog, something like that, where people see the sign and associate. Maybe that dog's not friendly. Because you never know, UPS driver showing up, an Amazon driver, they don't know if a dog's vicious or not. So having some sort of signage like that allows them to associate good, bad, just to be safe. The other options, Clarendon town ordinance, I believe you guys do allow shot collars and training collars, as well as vocal commands as an alternative to a physical leash. Which, if the dog's on its own property, doesn't sound like it was off the property at the time of bite. That doesn't sound like an issue to me at this point in time. But in-ground fences are cheap enough to install that if it is a big enough concern for the town, an in-ground fence, I think I have an acre of land. I have 4 dogs on, including my police dog. I think it cost me like $200 to install, and I did it myself. So it's a good alternative. Dogs learn very quickly where their boundaries are, but it does sound like the dog knows the boundaries. If the dog is how old now, ma'am?
2.5.
2.5. If the dog has been off the property in 2.5 years, chances are dog knows its boundaries and aren't going to break those. And it does sound like she was out there with the dog. It wasn't that the dog was outside not being watched. It just unfortunately sounds like a situation where friendly neighbor trying to be a friendly neighbor, not realizing this dog had this tendency. Owner didn't know the dog had this tendency because this is only the second time since it was a puppy. Puppies react differently than adult dogs do. Same thing as, a teenage boy versus adult male. Puppies don't know the difference. Adult males do. So you may not expect those behaviors to continue from the puppy stage, as the owner did not. Now she sees that it did continue these behaviors, and it's something that can be trained out of it.
What kind of, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
what kind of traffic are we talking about? Foot traffic I'm talking.
In the winter time, I wouldn't think there's much at all. But certainly spring and summer, there's people walking. I walk.
Is it more than just the community, or are there other people using this as an area to?
Good question. I can't answer that, except that we have a B&B down near the bridge, and I see people that I quote don't know, of course, walking through and walking up. It's a beautiful road. It's dirt
Yes,
road.
it is.
And, you come over the rise and Andrea's driveway's right there, the mailboxes are right there, and then you continue on going south, turning around whenever you want. So,
As a neighbor, do you feel comfortable with what Andrea is going to attempt to do with this animal?
good question. I would have hoped, and I don't know the years of a dog's when you could begin obedience training, but I would have wanted it some kind of fence or lead or leash that if this dog is out, and Andrea would be there, that would stop him from lunging or going anywhere near that driveway end where people might be walking, whether or not a friendly neighbor is walking over to say hello. Certainly I'm not going to do that anymore unless Andrea says the dog's inside. But even then, a family member was a post office person and the pit bull type was inside the screen door. I just saw him last night or over the weekend, and the pit bull got out and totally bit him. So it could happen with any dog. It happened to have been a pit bull type. So,
My dog is categorized as a Cane Corso.
oh, thank you.
He is not pure.
Right, I said type.
So yesterday, in an example, if I can speak, Janina was moving her mailbox. A hiker, I think he lives up the road. He had a backpack on. Walked by my driveway. Ruger was in the driveway, and he looked at me and barked at him, and I went, no. And he walked right back to me and did nothing else. Never left my property, never even reacted. After that, he was fine. Just like nothing ever happened. So he's not leaving my property. He never has. He goes to my parents every day in Wallingford, never leaves the property.
Well, I appreciate all that you've said and all that you're trying to do, and I do appreciate that and admire your actions. But on the other hand, we have an individual who has been bitten and who is obviously nervous and leery, I guess, of what's going on. So I think that, let me make sure I understood what you said. I think what you said is that you would like to see her outside when the dog was outside. Did I hear that?
I think that would be,
He's never been outside by himself. He's not allowed. He has to be with me.
So you're always with him
I am
outside?
always with
So it
Right.
sounds like that's a non-issue.
right, but the
Okay.
issue for me, if I can speak, is I appreciate that Andrea is outside. She was sitting on her steps, that she often does. She's enjoying that. And the dog is meandering back and forth, roaming. So I thought that being on a lead would be a huge safety, wonderful thing that whether a choke collar, I don't know if they're totally dependent on Wi-Fi or whatever that remote thing is. I think a lead would be safe, if the dog was on it.
But when he's, just clarifying question, when he's roaming, he's not leaving your
He's
property?
not leaving. He's peeing and pooping on my front yard and playing
So he's
ball
he's on your property during the roaming time?
on my property.
Okay.
Did either one of you invite the two people there in the back as witnesses or something?
They're my friends, thank you.
Did you see anything, or were you
Oh,
a
no,
witness?
they're just,
No, just,
Okay.
just support
thank you.
and no dogs.
Well, I think at this point, if I could.
Yep.
Go ahead, you.
No, I was gonna, so I believe the board ultimately needs to have a deliberative session,
Yes.
and that's how this goes, so this is probably where you're headed. Basically, is there any further information that needs to be given to us before we go into deliberative session?
In the other room.
And at that point, the board makes the decision, and actually, it's, I believe it's, we'll have to check the ordinance, but I believe it's a written decision that gets given out.
Yes.
And may I speak? I've mentioned, I didn't have the opportunity to talk to Andrea, but I don't want any hardship or anything horrible. I just want to feel that the little neighborhood that we have is safe, whether anybody feels that the dog won't go out or past a certain line or not. I want to be comfortable walking. We all do in the spring and summer, we get out more. And I feel as though some kind of lead, if that dog is outside in the front yard or maybe in the backyard, our yards are connected, that he be not roaming freely. I don't know how a choke collar consistently works. In fact, a prior neighbor in the middle, there's 3 houses that is serviced by Jacob Lane, one of which is really behind me and then a middle, and the one in the middle had a, what do they call the collar that shocks him? Is that what it is? But I
That's what
don't.
mine does. It has 3 different modes. I have never had to use anything besides beep.
Okay, but the one that I'm referring to that is in my memory is the dog got past it. It's a true.
That's a underground.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
that's the
Okay.
underground that we're talking about.
No,
but,
that's
you
an
know,
underground.
Certainly, I don't have the knowledge you do, but the dog got past it and was yelping. So I don't know what they did, but this dog has a tendency to hurt people.
It's not a tendency. He's done it twice. How many times have you walked by with your grandchildren and ever had him lunge out of my driveway at you?
I don't even
None.
know if
He does not leave the property. He listens to me and my son.
Well,
I think at this point in time,
I think we're done.
yeah,
I think deliberative session, are you good,
I
Don?
think so. I mean, I'm not by no means a dog person, but I do understand how a dog is a member of the family as a child would be a person that doesn't have children. So, it's a big thing to ask as far as, would you want to put a child on a leash because he's out breaking windows or whatever? It's not the same thing, but it kind of is, so.
Are you good, Mike?
Make a motion to go.
Just for,
You guys are gonna stick around.
We are gonna stick around?
Hope so.
Oh, okay.
Do we have to, or is
So-
it just come in the mail?
Right.
I was gonna say, we issue.
So the board will go into deliberative session, and then, when they come out of deliberative session, they'll have their ruling, if you will.
Correct.
That will then get mailed hard copy to both parties.
Yep.
just so that both of you know, I also have a dog, so that,
I met your dog, George. He's very cute.
yeah, he's a little,
Yeah.
So that's,
he'll open the door and say, come on in, and
because I believe the ordinance act, the state statute requires us to do that mailing, so that's the way it'll come out, so.
May I mention one more thing? My family was visiting on Sunday to help me move the mailbox. I felt that was a proactive thing that I could do. And my daughter-in-law, we were crossing back and forth and being very careful with traffic, etc. And she heard the dog bark, and she turned around, and she was scared because of all this stuff going on. And we have these 2 grandchildren. Doesn't matter that there are grandchildren. And there's littler kids in the back, of where I live. All of us live. We need to feel safe for our families and other families down Pondview and anybody that might be walking up that street. I don't know what happens if batteries die with this choke collar thing. I don't want to think about it. I want to be safe in my neighborhood, as we have been neighbors for however old Andrea is, because she's lived there with the Hawkins before, her parents, and then we lived there since '83. So.
I take it there's no permanent damage?
So for right now, I have the PA, the physician assistant at the hand doctor, said that she's gonna, I don't know if you could see it, but
Yeah.
she said the dog crushed my arm, and I'm thankful I had a jacket on. There's quite the lump here. I don't know if you could see it.
Yeah.
The stitches were taken out, and it's not closed up. It's extremely sore. I mean, it's closed up a little bit, but I keep a Band-Aid on it. And she's going to check me. She said 2 to 4 weeks, so I said 3, right in the middle.
Sure, why not?
And I told Andrea, the one thing I screamed was, do I have my fingers? And she said, don't look. That's scary enough for anybody.
Now, did you both, I think this is important to know too. Did you both consider who's helping out with the cost of
I am.
the
Well,
document?
I was gonna say, so what I guess we
I've
should,
offered, but
what we should make clear is, as far as financial compensation, that's not something this board has
No.
any
No,
saying
but
over.
just for the sake of
But,
discussion.
typically, just for both of you to understand, typically, a claim usually gets put in for your homeowner's
I've already
insurance.
talked to them.
So so as long as that's taken place, that's, Officer Cram can chime in, but I believe that's my understanding of it. Usually it's a homeowner's claim, so.
Yeah, we don't have anything to deal
No,
with whatever
I understand
financial stuff.
I'll make a motion that we enter into deliberative session.
Second.
And we leave, is that correct?
Yeah,
Thank you for hearing it.
all right, thanks
Appreciate it.
guys for coming down. Sorry this has to
Could you
happen.
please just give me your names for the record? Sure. To you? Yes, please.
All right, motion made to go into
John Turner.
deliberative session.
That's a hard word.
Say that again.
Aye.
It took me a long time. All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it.
We come out of deliberative session.
Second.
All right, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, make a motion that the acting administrative assistant of the board be instructed to send the decision to the owners, the interested parties, the owners.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion on that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? entertain a motion to come out of,
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we adjourn the vicious dog hearing.
Second.
all those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And that's 10 to 6, according to their clock. All right, welcome everybody to our meeting tonight. At this time, is there any agenda additions or deletions?
Should do that right
Yep.
now? Okay. Mr. Chairman,
Yes?
Just make it a motion.
I'd like to make a motion that, we table the appointment of Dan Pinkwowsi, to the Rutland Regional Planning Commission, just because John McKenna, the chair of the Planning Commission, is not here. Dan's not here. The people that recommended Dan to be on the Regional Planning Commission aren't here. I'd move that we table that.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
So it's been tabled versus dropped, is that right?
Yeah,
Yes.
tabled until such time as the planning commission
Okay.
wants to
Step
bring it.
it
Thank you.
and make a written
We'll make a,
recommendation.
right.
All right, under additions and deletions, there was a couple extra, liquor licenses.
So we warned the meeting on the agenda, there's 2 liquor licenses, but we actually have 4. We received 2 more, after the agenda got posted.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make the motion to update the agenda to reflect 4 instead of 2.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
You guys wanna fight it out?
No, go ahead. George can have the glory.
George, seconded by George.
Force
All
of
those in
habit.
favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right. Approval of the April 13th minutes.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Is there any further discussion?
I will be abstaining from that vote. I wasn't here.
Okay. So at least 3 of us. So all those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So be it. Highway, road commissioner is not here. If he comes in before the meeting's over, then we'll ask him if he has anything. Heidi, do you know if there's any discussion? All right. Approval of the select board warrants, they're right here. We just looked them over and signed them. If anybody in the public wants to come up and see how we're spending your tax dollars, go for it. Any guests tonight? Public comments?
Nobody?
New
Nobody.
business. We did have the appointment for Dan Pinkwowsi, but it's been tabled. 4 applications for liquor license and stuff. Is there a motion to accept these?
Who are we?
Right.
Just-
I'd like to see where
Say
they
who we're looking at.
Yeah.
On the sticky note.
Yeah, okay, so we're looking at Steve's Country Market over on East Clarendon. We have 1 for their liquor and we have 1 for their tobacco license. And then we have 2 also for Stonehenge, 1 for the golf course and 1 for the clubhouse. And it's 2 for each. It's 2 for Steve's and two for Stonehenge.
Right.
And these are the normal licenses they apply for every year.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say this is the one that we do have to do
They're
every
just
year.
renewals.
It's just a renewal.
And
There's no place to sign.
I was gonna say you don't have to sign them. You just
Nope.
gotta approve them now.
Approve 'em, right.
I'm good. I'll make the motion that we approve all 4.
I'll second that.
There you go, by gosh, that worked out
All those in
good.
favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right. Anything under old business? Doesn't look like it.
I think we, did you have something you want to add, anybody? That would be the time.
I just wanted to say the roads are all graded. They're anywhere from a 2% to 3% pitch, in case you guys get phone calls.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks pretty good to me.
Crown
So you've made-
talking about, Joe.
Made 1 pass around so far, Joe.
I gotta go back and spot grade some potholes, but what I wanna do is ask you guys, cause I ain't getting nowhere with cash. I need more weight on the grader. I need the rear tires loaded. I need the more heavier weight on the front end. So I can't get below the potholes. Cause it'll pick the whole machine right off the ground and just spin the tires.
So there's not enough weight on the machine to do what needs to
No.
be done.
I even had Doug Casella come in. He was looking at the town's grader, cause he's buying one just like it. He says, I told him, I says, it just spins out. There's not enough weight. When I try to push a load of sure pack up a hill or something, I got taken 2-inch lifts. Where the old grader, right up the hill, you know. I need more weight on it.
So I would say that's
That's a question.
a discussion that we've got to have. So thank you for bringing it to our attention.
If
Yep.
you wanna, I can get a couple of 1,000-pound tie on weights. If he wants to try them on the front, see what you gotta have.
Yeah, cause they need to do something, cause they're just gonna tear the tires right off it.
Roads are just gonna get harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm already down into boulders and stuff. I'm pulling boulders out.
You wanna jump on that discussion with cash? If
Sounds
you're,
like he already has.
no, I'm talking to Eddie about the
He won't
suggestion
listen
of,
to me.
Yeah, he
I-
won't
I've
listen
already
to me,
offered them.
so-
I said, I'll pick them weights up. They're the weights I used to use to test bucket trucks and stuff
yeah,
for stability. And there, you just take a chain or a strap, hook it around your front end of that big hook, and no, he's.
Does it have places to hook stuff to it?
Yeah, it's got a big hook up there, and
Yeah,
all
it
you do
does.
is hang them on there, and that would give you an idea of what you're gonna need
before
for
you
weight.
spend a lot
Yeah.
of money.
How
So
much?
let's, just my
It's only got
suggestion is let's,
900-pound
the
weight.
board
on
is
it.
aware of it now. We've got some meetings coming up anyway.
Exactly.
Let's let the board act.
How much
Deal on
weight
it.
will they get if you load those
Yeah, that's a
tires?
good question. How
I
much?
put on the old grader, it did the same thing. It kept eating the tires right off it.
But how much weight when you load the tires does it
I'll
typically?
bet you
Oh.
1,000 pounds of
Yeah.
tire.
Each one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The two front ones are already done.
In your opinion, Ed, would that be enough, or Joel, would that be, do you think you
well,
need
you
a
need
little
the
more?
weight on both ends.
Both
Oh,
ends.
and load the tires in the back
The
too.
weight in the
Yeah.
back is for pushing.
Yeah,
The weight on the
Keep the
front
blade-
is to hold your
keep the blade
machine
down.
down so you
Yeah.
can dig.
Yeah.
And, yeah, you need the weight in the back
Yeah.
too. Just load them, put the
Yeah.
beet juice to them. I know I had my tractor tire loaded, and I think one tire was like 800 pounds added to it.
Yeah.
It's quite a bit.
Yeah, it's quite a bit, so there's gonna be more on that, obviously.
yeah, all right.
Sounds like that's something we gotta weigh in on.
So,
Yeah,
So
and a
thank-
handle on it.
Yeah.
so thank you for bringing it to our attention. And let us do the backside workings. How's that?
That sounds good to me.
Okay.
How about your roadside mower? Not change
We ain't
subject,
even
is
touched that
ready to
thing
go?
yet.
Well, that's gonna have to be coming up, you know,
I got-
next 3 months.
I
probably,
got a
right?
lot of
2
work to
months.
be done to it before it can even go.
I can fix that hydraulic problem if he so chooses, so you don't have to run the remote to run the arm, so.
I do gotta cut
Well, I
another
wish
chunk
you
out of
could
the
hear
boom.
Okay. Let us look at. We'll bring that up too.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Heidi, do you have anything?
I just wanted to note that I did provide a budget status to you tonight. If anybody from the public would like a copy, I'm happy to share. I do have a couple of notes that I want to touch on, but I will email those out to you. Nothing crazy.
Kevin? Donnie, do you have any concerns?
No, Mr. Chairman, no concerns, I guess.
Rob?
Nothing tonight.
Me either. George?
Yeah, I was hoping that our chairman has a chance to get home to see football tonight.
Difficult without it on TV.
Right, be a long wait.
All right, then at this time, is there a motion to go into executive session for a personnel issue?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All right, all those in favor of the motion, can we say aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?